Okay, so let's take a look at how you can import and visualize SQLite data in Power BI. So as you know, SQLite is lightweight database engine, and we are going to use data created within that database, import it in Power BI. So first we'll take a look at if it's possible to do it directly within cloud version of Power BI. So let's take a look at Power BI. Then if you go to workspace and then create, and here if we try to go for local files import, let's take a look at if it allows .SQLite file. So as you can see, it's not supported, right? So what we can do here is we basically have to check Power BI desktop, right? So considering this is only possible with Power BI, we will have to first execute ODBC driver, right? So I'll just close this, and in order to go for ODBC, I'll just have to close this for now and go for driver, right? So there is this SQLite ODBC driver. If you search for it, you will find this particular page, and if you download SQLite ODBC 64-bit edition, you will be able to get this particular installer, right? Make sure to agree to it and install it, right? Choose whatever the component of SQLite drivers you can get, then finish, right? Now we can go ahead with our Power BI, right? So with Power BI desktop, we'll have option to basically import that .SQLite file, right? So first thing is we will have to import the data, right? So here we will get the data, and for that we will simply check for ODBC, right? Select this and then click connect, right? And here you see the sources. Here you can see SQLite data source, right? You can go for advanced options and give it a path, right? So say if my file is within this path data.SQLite, I will have to type in the data source, or you can say database, and then equals to, and then paste to that file. So data.SQLite, right? And then simply click OK. Let's see if it accepts. If it does, it will basically ask you for username, password. Go for default or custom. Credentials are not required, they are optional. Simply go with connect, right? It says unable to connect due to some sort of compatibility issue, right? Or out of memory error with that particular driver. So you can edit if you have any specific issues with that, right? So let's say if it says SQLite data source, let's go with that. Go with default or custom, click connect, right? And then you can go for your data. Now the difference between the current action and previous, if you go back and check, is that I selected SQLite resource, but our current database is created with SQLite 3 database, so it will be compatible only with that data source, right? Now that we have selected this particular table, you can load it, right? Whatever may be the number of rows, that will be loaded, right? Now if you want to do anything with data, I recommend you to simply use external database editor, something like, let's say, DB browser, right? So we'll take few minutes on this. So let's say this DB browser for SQLite is here, and if I choose to open this database, right, so this is data.sqlite, right, and if I have to view the data, I can simply go browse the data, right. Make sure to add, remove any particular column that you don't want or don't want to use, right. So say if I just want to use these particular columns, I can select them and then save that data within .sqlite file and get the proper export, right. So the reason I'm telling you this is that if you don't know how to get the SQLite data or work on it, like cleaning it or filtering it, you will be able to do that with DB browser for SQLite. Also, you can select all of this, right. So if you want to choose another method for entering data, you can do so. Simply use enter data and simply select, paste it here. So as you can see, the copy didn't work out because I didn't choose copy here, right. So I'll have to check whether it allows me to copy and paste from this place. So in that case, I will just have to export this particular data, right. So save table as CSV, right. So if I save this as CSV, let's say cc.csv, right, export completed. Now I can go for this particular way, right. So I can select it, copy it. Now go back, Power BI, enter data manually, and then paste it here. Clipboard is going to get too much of data, so you'll have to go for, let's say, first 10 rows for simplicity, right. So I'll go with that, right. Copy. This is just to show you that it's possible. So as you can see, I have took the data from SQLite using DB browser by converting it into CSV file, right. Once we create that, then we can open CSV file in Excel, copy the data and manually enter it within Power BI desktop. So that's second method. So default one is we download SQLite ODBC driver and simply connect it with that particular file stored on your particular location, in my case data.sqlite. So for that, we simply use database equals to the path to this file, that means D drive files and data.sqlite, and make sure that particular data source is SQLite 3. Okay, so up to this point we managed to come here. Now I want to take this data into cloud. So to do that, what we'll have to do is simply publish it, right, and say SQ demo. So it's working. I will have to choose the workspace and then select it. Once we do that, the data goes to the cloud, and hopefully if it does, it says success. Click got it. Now go to your cloud account, go to your workspace from browse, then my workspace, then demo, right. So for that you choose your data set, right, and let's say we have SQ demo over there. So we'll just have to refresh this, right. So let's try to find out where that is. SQ demo, and as you can see, SQ demo data set, select that. Now that we have this particular data, we'll have to visualize this. We can auto create the report. Select it, auto create. It will generate from the available options. As you can see, this is using count of our districts, then work date, count of part cost, and some other data it fetched from our table and then showed this report out of that. So this is done only because we managed to create .pbix file in our Power BI desktop. So whatever you do with your data, make sure to first do it on Power BI desktop, save it with .pbix file, and then take it to your cloud account. There you can visualize the data the way you want, and you will be able to generate the report of your choice. So we managed to get the data from SQLite and managed to visualize it in both Power BI desktop and cloud account.